Hello, my friends. Hello, how are you? I hope everyone is having an awesome day. Can you believe that it is the end of December? I don't believe it. By the way, this is Heather from Prosperity Flow Coaching. This is the Back to Me podcast. In case you were wondering, why is this woman just popping up and talking? So it is the last Wednesday of December. So if you're just finding this podcast, I come on every Wednesday. I do it live every Wednesday at about 2, and then I record it. And then I just send it out later to far and wide, to wherever I can distribute. It's on Apple Podcasts as an audio, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. You know, I'm just trying to get out there and share some love with the world, my friends. And interestingly, so I actually listened to a lot of podcasts myself. And yesterday I was walking and listening to a podcast, and the um, the person that I was listening to was talking about exactly what I was going to talk about today. It was almost like, wow, how did this happen that he was talking about exactly the same thing I wanted to talk about, pretty much. And what I was so we've been talking about, tr- you know, getting this is, I've talked about work life balance and my philosophy that I've said this before, but there is no such thing as work life balance. There's work, there's life, and it's pretty much all just life. There's no way you're going to find to your I haven't met at this point anyone who has found the perfect balance between work and life to the extent that they feel that it's operating the way they want. It's not the way they envision it. And I feel like the problem comes in that everything is life. I was talking to a coaching client yesterday. Life gets messy and involved and stuff happens. Sometimes it's going good, sometimes it's not going great. And we know that life goes up, life goes down, life goes up, life goes down. So trying to find this balance between this work and this life, but it's all just life. It's all just life. So I think that the uh, overwhelm, the stress, the anxiety, that feeling that you get comes more from the imbalance between what you value most and what you're prioritizing. And I know sometimes that what you value is probably pretty set at this point. Um, Even if you haven't fully identified it, but you probably you value your health, especially if you end up in the hospital, my friends. Someday I'll tell you the whole story about my 4 days in the hospital. I've probably shared it in little tidbits. You could probably piece it together. But you value your health, you value your friends, you value your, it said fill in the blank. But what you're prioritizing may be out of alignment with that. And I think that's where a lot of stress and discord comes from. But that's not so I've been talking about that kind of ongoing. This kind of the underlying theme of everything I'm talking about. So we talked a few weeks ago about kind of reconnecting with something you wanted in your life. Was something you dreamt of doing. I'm just making sure I don't forget anything. I'm looking over here. What did you dream of doing? And that might not be something that you value. That not be something that fits with you right now. And we're allowed to change our minds. Like, come on, seriously. And then we talked about trying to put some energy behind, even if it's something that's changed. If it's something that's changed, maybe whatever it is that you are valuing now, can you put some energy behind that, some emotional, some thoughts, how do you feel when you're in that space? So I was speaking with a coaching client yesterday and about the goal that she was working on. And my question kept being, um, but so you want this, but what will that get you? And then what will that get you? Trying to drill down to what is the essence? Why will this goal, what will that get you ultimately? And that usually comes to some feeling that you're trying to get. And then we were talking about, you know, no one's going to do it for you. Last week was a little bit of tough, just a little bit of tough love. Um, Recognizing that if it's something that you want, you're going to have to take some action because dreaming about it won't do it. You know, people, I know someone was using the law of attraction, and this was a number of years ago when the first book was first out. And she said, I'm visualizing my perfect home. I'm like, okay, but if you don't take action, it's not just going to plop into your lap. You've got to like go out and do things and talk to people and search. You can't just sit there visualizing it and expect poof, it's going to appear. So when you want something, if once you identify what it is that you want and you get that feeling behind it and you know what it's going to be like when you get it and you know deep down what it's for, um, then go out and start doing it, right? Because it's not just going to poof appear in your lap. But then, so that's blah blah. That's not all blah blah blah. But it's getting up to today. What we're talking about today is when life does get messy and stuff happens. Because look, stuff is happening again. We've been in this new kind of strange paradigm for. We're going to be coming up to 2 years pretty soon of this, and it's been a wave. We've been riding it up and down. And it'll seem like we're coming out of it and then it comes back. It's very strange, right? But as we're writing it, we just keep adjusting, we keep adjusting. And what happens when you wear out? When you're at a low point, at low ebb for you, you still have your goal, you still have the energy behind it that you want, but your energy is waning because of, it could be anything. So, what do you do when you're having that down, that I I it's almost like you're gonna give up. I was speaking with someone recently who mentioned that, people make New Year's resolutions. I make New Year's resolutions. Sometimes I call them intentions, trying to convince myself that I'm still gonna do them, and she commented that most people give up on February the 1st. And I mean, we've probably all done it ourselves. It's like we hit this point where like, "Oh, it's too much work," or, "Oh, I having a low point," or I've lost interest in it and we give up. So if we have goals that are super aligned with what we actually want, we have the energy behind it, that helps us. That's going to help us get to it. So the other thing that we need is we need our own cheering team, our own rah squad, our own, I don't know, community to help us. So when we're feeling down, they're the people who are going to help lift us back up. And this is what I was listening to in the podcast yesterday. Yes, you have to choose to do it, but you don't have to do things alone, right? You surround yourself with the people who maybe they have the same goal, maybe they have a similar goal, maybe they have an entirely different goal, but it's someone who or people who understand what's going on maybe and can help you when you're feeling like it's not working, something's not working, you're starting to lose your momentum. They can kind of charge you back up. They can charge you back up. So you've got to think about who would you put on your team? It doesn't have to be random. You can even write down if that's something that sounds like it jives with you. It's like, um, even if you don't share it with them, it's just write down if this is a goal that I'm working on, whatever it is, who would be my best person, my best people to help me and stay on track. And you can ask them formally to help you, or just if you're having a bad day, it's like that call a friend, hashtag call a friend. So I'm just looking at my notes. I had so much to say the other day when I was writing my notes, and I was writing so fast. I don't know about you. When I write fast, I can barely read my writing, but that's an aside. So, who is on your team? Who is on your team? Who is going to be the best person to support you, the best people to support you? Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's not. Sometimes when your significant other, you tell your significant other you'd like to lose 5 pounds, and they say to you, "Are you really going to eat that chocolate?" You just want to give them a smack in a gentle, kind way. But it's like, "Stop nagging me." So maybe your your partner, yes, I did have that recently. Maybe your partner isn't the best person to help you with whatever your goal is, but maybe they are. I mean, I've asked my partner, Brad, to support me in so many things, and he does an amazing job. And there's feedback. Some people you want feedback from, some people you don't. Um, and you don't, whatever your goal is, and like, don't don't doubt yourself that you can do it. Of course you can do it. Of course you can do it. Unless it's becoming an Olympian at the age of, 75 or something. That might be hard. But I don't know, I guess it could happen. But don't doubt that you can do it. If it is something that you have decided upon, if it is something that is going to bring you something in your life that is an amazing and uplifting and will just make your life fill out, be full, be well, then of course you can do it. And you don't have to do it alone. And one of the other thing in this podcast that I thought was amazing, because it already aligned with everything that I was doing this year, is one of the fastest ways to reach your goals is to help someone else reach their goal. And when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally connected with what he said. Because when I was lying in the hospital and trying to decide on the priorities, decide on what I was going to prioritize in my life, everything was pointing to the my coaching, my programs, my everything that I'm trying to do to help other people. That is where all of my energy is going. All of my energy is going to try and help other people be well. I don't want them to experience what I just experienced. I don't want anyone to suffer needlessly through illness or stress or anxiety or overwhelm, because you don't have to. You don't have to. You can you can make, I was having a conversation with a client earlier. You can make taking care of yourself as normal as breathing. And whatever taking care of yourself looks like, it's going to look like something different than somebody else. It won't look like mine. Mine is for me. But you can go through a process to figure out what taking care of you and the best way to take care of you will, what it's going to look like for you. I call it a personal self-care plan. And that's what I want for the world. So I'm just trying to give as much as I can to as many people as I can, so that more people can be well, because the more people that are well and whole in themselves and not stressed out, the more that will ripple out to the rest of the world. That is my plan, my friends. I know it's a tall order. It's okay. I got this. I totally got this. This is my goal. I've already evaluated it. I've already vetted it. I already know why I want to do it. So, of course, it's going to happen. And I don't have to do it alone, because I have my coach. I have teams of people. I have my team of people that I call on and depend on. And I'm taking that and spreading the love forward. And by the way, with that in mind, I still have slots available on the 12 days of wellness. If you want to have a free one on one with me, just to sit down and have a chat and talk about what your self care plan might look like, I'll put that link in the notes shortly. And then don't forget, January 3rd to 7th, I am having a 5-day, every day, a 5-day challenge, the 5-day wellness advent calendar. We're going to go live once a day inside the Back to Me Facebook group. So if you're not in that Facebook group, you'll have to pop on in there, because that's just for the people in the Back to Me group. And then if at the end of that, if you still need more, I'm going to launch my Back to Me 6-week program. Only 10 ladies. Sorry, guys. Sorry. This one's for the ladies. But I was asked recently why I wasn't doing one for the guys. So if there's interest from the guys, I'll have one for the guys. But this is 10 ladies inside this special Back to Me program, 6 weeks, where we're going to really, really dive into it and make 2022 amazing. My friends, I was a little longer today, but yeah, I had a lot to say today. I've been, processing and getting excited and doing so many amazing things, and I can't wait to share them all with you. If you ever need to have a conversation, just please send me a message, send me an email, send me a tweet. No, not on Twitter. Send me an Instagram, send me anything because why? I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything alone. I am Heather, Prosperity Flow Coaching. If I don't see you, I hope you have an amazing new year. Take care of yourselves. Be well, my friends, and I will talk to you soon.